Hello and welcome to this video. So for this video, I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour, and it's going to be this sketchbook that I recently finished earlier this year. It took me a long time to finish this sketchbook. It's like kind of the first sketchbook that I got or like started and worked in after I kind of really decided that I wanted to draw more and like actually improve that skill, as opposed to sketchbooks that I've had before that were just because sometimes it's fun to draw, or like I needed to get visual ideas down for like even non-art related things, or I don't know, just like because they weren't really intentional, but this one was more so intentional. But it still took me a long time to finish, just because one, it's not like it's been my only sketchbook or the only like area that I make art in, and two, I'm just like really bad, or I've been really bad in the past at being consistent with sketching. Yeah, so I think I got it in 2018 and barely finished it 2022, and it's a moleskine sketchbook, like the 8.5 by 5 size, I believe. Yeah, so I'll just get into the sketchbook tour and I hope that you enjoy it. Okay, so here is the sketchbook. It's a moleskine sketchbook, and I'll put the size on the screen. Black, it's hardcover. I don't remember how many pages, but yeah, this is just the front. So these are just some stickers that I put. This one is from Lee Ellison. This one is from Art Baby Girl, Grace Michelli. And this is just a picture of me and my husband, but I just covered him for his own privacy. The beginning is a lot shittier and elementary than the latter end of it. Okay, so the first page, I just saved this little thing from an order I got. So the first page, I was just discount code testing some markers. Hopefully the quality of the images is good enough on here, but hopefully I'm going to be able to brighten it up in editing. A lot of pen in the beginning, and these are like pretty goofy looking. So this is like a family member when we were on vacation, and this is another family member holding the tennis racket, and I actually like that they look really bad. So then I think at this point I decided to start an Inktober. You will see that I did not end up finishing. I only did a few days, but yeah, this is just a plant I had, I think a calathea, and I let it take the whole page. This plant sadly died. Yeah. Okay, and then over here I did a drawing of a pomegranate, but I think I used not an actual pomegranate for reference. I think this was like me copying another drawing just for practice, since it is just my sketchbook. And then I guess I must have left this page blank, and I think I came back and did this later on. So this is just a colored pencil sketch of my dog at the time and a Schefflera tree that I really like. Okay, and then back to Inktober. So here's a little snail that I did. And then a jam jar. I was going to say jar jam. a jam jar. And then I like this one still. I like both of these actually still. This is a shell this one I actually did look at an actual shell that I have. And it came out like better than I would have thought. And then this is, I think I was referencing a painting for this one. So this is just some waves. Okay, and then I like these two actually. So we have an apple here, which I did look at a real apple for this, and piece of my pothos, which this one is still alive, thankfully. As you can see, like I was kind of going for that more, what's it called, like hatching and cross hatching with some of these. And then here I just drew like a wonky looking deer, and then this was like a Coke can, but I didn't really like that one. And then this one's cute too. This one is just a duck. And then this was, I think at this point, almost. I was almost about to give up. Not on purpose, but just like I ended up running out of time. So anyway, this is done later on, I believe, with pencil. It's just like a view of like some mountains and some houses, or like hills more so. And then over here, these were supposed to be both for Inktober, but I never technically finished them. So this one, as you can see, is like a canoe that's not finished. And then this one is like a cougar, but it's just a pencil. So I don't know how long of a break I took from using this sketchbook, but eventually I picked it back up again and I just started like drawing whatever I wanted to. So this was just a lion, and this is a person. I don't know if it was based off of me or if it's based off of a picture of somebody else. I feel like it's, I don't know, somebody else. Oh look, I put a little sad face because I did not like it. And these are just some drawings from around my house. So we got a clock here and my dirty laundry hamper. And I still have both of those things. Oh, so then I think at this point I started getting into watercolor. So I don't know what I did first. Probably this. Was trying to draw someone, and then I tried to do a watercolor painting, and it came out terrible. So then later on I redid it. Just more pencil drawings. We got a hand and a hairbrush that I had. Some kombucha, a truck. I remember I drew this truck when I was sitting in my car when I took my dog to get his fur. When I took my dog to get groomed, and I was just like sitting in my car waiting. I remember that. Okay, and then I think after here I start using a lot more colored pencil because I realized that I like that. So yeah, this is the right way up. Sometimes it's hard to remember. This is just another view of like some backyards of neighbors and houses at a family member's house. And then this is when I worked at my job, my previous job. I would go to the park a lot on my lunch. So I drew this on my lunchtime at a nearby park. There was a lot of squirrels there all the time. And you'll see squirrels become a theme in my art after a while. So we just have some colored pencil animal drawings, which I still really like these. And then this, I don't really know what happened with here. It was just like, I think I did this like before some of the other stuff. I don't know. I don't remember clearly, but it's just like a bottle of cream. And then I think I came back and did this. I did this later, yeah, because I initially had just drawn this because I was going to try to do like a whole pattern. But I didn't like that, so I just skipped that page. So at some point I came back in and drew this. And then, oh, actually I technically still have this page, so maybe I'll come back one day soon and do something here. But I just left it because I had an idea there already, and I was like I just never finished it. So this is another sketch of a little drawing I had an idea for to represent. It was supposed to represent like anger. And then here, this one is technically unfinished as well, which is like fine for a sketchbook. But I did start trying to finish more things towards the end. But here I was sitting again at a family member's house outside, and I was trying to draw a tree in the backyard. And then we just have some more colored pencils. So a little chicken being held, and some little flowers and shapes. And then this page is, I used a reference of somebody's story from Instagram. I just liked their dog and the way it looked. And then here I was just practicing drawing little poodle sketches loosely based on my dog. Yeah, I really like this one. I like it, I think, because it looks like him. But yeah. Okay, and then these I used references of people I follow on Instagram as well. So pregnant woman, and then this is another woman. This one was like ugly, like the way I drew it. I didn't intend for it to come out that wonky, but it just did. And then I was just playing around with colors and patterns and shapes. Here, I think this one is supposed to be like landscape this way. Yeah. And then we have, this was from a painting, a reference from a painting, like a milkmaid. And then this was just kind of like doodling, trying to practice like these shapes of people that I liked to do at the time. So yeah, these are both colored pencils still. So this is, again, somebody else that I follow on Instagram, and I liked their picture. And then this is a picture based off a picture I had of my dog getting a bath. So he was wet in this photo, which is why he looks so funny. And this was like the bathtub edge. And then this is from more of my dog. So me giving him a bath outside. This was warm water, and it was a hot day, so it's fine. And then another picture we had of my husband holding him. You can't really tell, but I felt like, because the angle, the background was like the sky, so I was imagining that he was like flying, which was funny because he was like the old little doggy. Okay, and then this is based on, again, somebody that I followed at the time. Yeah, just kind of, you know, because there's this artist, well, there's a few artists, obviously, who I really love, who do this kind of stuff. There's one artist in particular, Carly Jean Andrews, who, the way that she draws women is like so perfect. And so I was kind of trying to emulate that, practice emulating that here. I got nowhere near close, but it was good practice because I was trying to be more basic and be more decisive with the shapes, as opposed to like here where I'm kind of like filling it in and then just going that way, where here I just have to, I mean, that might not be how she does her process, but it was just something that I played around with. And then this is just a little doggy sketch too, of a little stuffed animal that I had. And it also looks like my dog, which is why I got it. Okay, this, so I have more mixed media coming here. So this is like watercolor and colored pencil, maybe gouache too. So this was a screenshot of somebody's story, and they liked it and they reposted it, which was nice. So I like this one, yeah. And then this was a scene of my parents' dog. Some more mixed media. So this had like gouache, colored pencil, and some pastels, and then some charcoal for the black. Okay, this, I was trying to draw a satin pothos that I have, but I think at this point, I was like, okay with this leaf, and then I got to this leaf, and I hated it, so I just gave up. And then I think it was like a while later that I did this page, and this is just like a portrait of, what's her name? That actress, Mia Farrow. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with how this came out as well. And then on the other side, oh, not yet. Okay, so this, I did a video of this, of a sketch with me with this painting. So this is some more gouache and a little bit of colored pencil, a little froggy on a lily pad. And I really enjoyed doing this one. And I enjoyed using the gouache. And then this here is kind of a mix, because you see like a tree here. I think I never finished whatever that was going to be. And then this was kind of like a little miniature study for a painting that I was going to do for a painting class. So I wanted to just see like the blocking in of the different colors. Okay, and then over here, so because I had done Mia Farrow, I decided to do Woody Allen. And sorry for doing Woody Allen. I'm not a Woody Allen fan. I'm a Woody Allen hater. but I just thought it was interesting to draw an old white man, I guess. Well, just an old man. I wasn't trying to get an old white man, but I was like, okay, it gave me another person to draw. But did I need to draw an old white man? No, because we have enough depictions of white men in art. So I apologize. But anyway, yeah, this one was not as good in my opinion as the Mia Farrow one, but I like finished it, you know. So yeah, okay. And then here we have more gouache of a pigeon, and I think at this point I decided not to use any more gouache in here because it really doesn't lay well on this paper. Okay, and then I think I took like another long break after this from this sketchbook. So here I didn't like how this one came out, but this is of a person that I follow again. Colored pencil, just colored pencil, and then this is a sketch that I did at a park one day. It's really cute. This is when I start really getting into drawing little squirrels, and I still enjoy it. I want to do more squirrel-based stuff. So then here we have, I really like this one. Yeah, some squirrels in love. And I did both of these at the park too. This one of some squirrels. This one I really like. I want to eventually do something with this. Yeah, maybe like a postcard or something. Okay, and then just some more animals. I wanted to kind of play with more animals and color and drawing them like in a more, I mean, they still kind of look realistic, but I don't know how to explain it, but I was just kind of playing around with drawing animals with colored pencils and kind of like limiting my color palette. Yeah, so Shark Week. It wasn't Shark Week at the time. I just wanted to draw that. And then I had this picture of a raccoon, and I thought, you know, that's the vibes that he's giving off. Okay, so this squirrel, I put Faya Baby because it was a Faya-ass, yeah, it was a Faya-ass drawing, ugly-ass drawing. I didn't like it. I used the green, I don't know, everything was just wrong. And then these are drawings that I did copying some scenes from this short children's film. Well, it was like 30 minutes. Called The Kindly Lion, and I loved The Kindly Lion so much. I loved the illustration style and animation style. So I wanted to like practice. I loved the way they drew animals' eyes. Yeah, it was just really good. And then this is a portrait again of another person that I follow, and I tried to draw some daffodils and just decorate the page here. So this up here is, I was trying to draw, people might recognize it from that one Instagram page, Still Life Still Here, I think is there at. I wasn't particularly fond of how it came out. I like how the pasta plate itself looks, but everything else not really. Then I just drew a little bunny and another squirrel being a sad squirrel. Yeah. And then more squirrels. So I'm pretty sure I drew this at the park as well, since I ended up leaving it park headquarters. Yeah, he's just tired of everything. And then we got this little caterpillar who's like, what's up with that fool? But yeah, I guess that's how I felt at the time that I drew that. Okay, and this is also how I felt at the time that I drew this. So this one is like a stressed out squirrel, wants to be alone. Both, I guess I was stressed during this time. Not I guess, I know I was stressed. Okay, and then more squirrels. So yeah, I got really into squirrels. I'm still really into the squirrels. So this one is chilling, and then this one's mad. I think oh yeah, here's the caterpillar again. Okay, so over here, finally one more squirrel, a little heaven baby squirrel, and then just some quilt pattern at the bottom. And then over here, I drew Pink Panther because I really like Pink Panther illustration and animation style as well. So I was drawing that, and I added some little commentary. Okay. This is just graphite pencil. And then here I tried to draw Drew Barrymore with pen. And then this is a pencil sketch of a little baby in my family biting on a cup. And then these are just random things. So we have some Crocs that I had just gotten. Have a little, you can't really tell, but it's a cat upside down. This is another attempt, or I don't know if this was first or second. A Croc, I didn't like it. This is a cup, a ceramic mug, a little pigeon, an apple, Wendy, chicken nuggets. Oh shit, and another Wendy. Her name is Wendy in the movie, right? This is I don't remember I don't remember her real name or her movie name. But from The Shining, that actress. Shelley Duvall? Okay, I think so. But yeah, that's just a picture I found of her. And then some more random stuff, but in pen and just graphite pencil. So we have a remote that I have. Classic Mickey, a hair clip that I have. This was a figurine, but I didn't finish it. Some scissors, my headphones, a claw clip, another claw clip, nail clippers, and a little teddy bear plushie thing that I have as well. So all of these except for the Mickey were from Life. The Mickey, I just looked at a reference online. Well, the exact same image. I just wanted to copy. Okay, and then here, this part was, I referenced a 80s disco album cover. It was okay. And then, I don't know, I saw BOGO somewhere, and then I drew BOGO, and then I drew COVID deal. As a joke, obviously, but I don't know. It was just weird. Drew my pencil sharpener. This was a little figurine that we have in the house. And then what's his face? What's his name? The meat. I can't remember his name right now, but the Muppet guy that I really like him. And then we have a little spread. So this was Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, all grown up, teenage version. And then after I drew Bubbles, I was like, okay, let me draw Jojo. And he is a short king. Okay, and then some dice. And then this was from a self-portrait. I didn't really finish it. And then these and this. These are portraits of band members that I really like, The Garden. So Wyatt and Fletcher Shears. And then yeah, I just added this red design in the background. Here is a few different things. So this part is from a picture of my husband on a tree. I didn't draw his face well at all. He looks weird, but not in real life. And then this was, I forgot the actor's name. I think Marlon Brando, but it's an actor, and it's a still from a 60s or 70s movie. And then this was just from a painting of a frog dressed as a gentleman. This is from an illustration. I just copied the illustration. Yeah, I think it's fine to copy stuff in your sketchbook when it's just for you to practice that look or that style or other stuff that you want to practice through using that reference. And then here, this is from Instagram that I used as a reference. this, I don't know, I think I googled something for that person's face. So. And then, okay, so over here I drew another squirrel. I didn't really like how it came out, and afterward I was like, why did I use like red and yellow? It reminded me of McDonald's, so I just put he's loving it. But I put WTF because I wasn't into it. And then some vines, and then this one I liked. It's like again a reference of somebody who I follow on Instagram. Yeah, I think that they're very beautiful, and I wanted to try drawing them. And then, oh, I forgot about this one actually. So this is the back. This is the back of that page. So we'll ignore that for right now because I used marker. But this part is another sketch. This is colored pencil. Somebody else that I follow on Instagram. I had left this part blank, but it got messed up from the back. So I tried to get, because I hadn't used my alcohol, because I hadn't used my markers in a long time. And I was like, damn, I need to like experiment with my markers again. And it was okay. Like, I think it would have come out better if I had just used colored pencil. But so I just went back to colored pencil. I was like, markers are not it for me. So anyway, then I did another portrait of somebody else that I follow. I like to save a lot of people's photos on Instagram when I just like how it looks, and I feel like it's a good reference that I would like to draw. Basically, like I see people's pictures and I'm like, oh, I want to draw that person or something. I want to practice. So again, we see that here. Obviously this person took a selfie, but I liked it, so I used it as a reference. And then here I just drew a little baby seal with his, you can't tell in my picture, in my drawing, but his tongue is sticking out. That was cute. And then I think this is the last page. So I decided to do another seal, and then I decided to practice some birds. And I was trying to practice different kind of cartoony eyes. And then, I don't know, this was just like random stuff. And then we have some doggies. This, so I don't remember what, but I started off with just this, and then I thought it looked like weirder than I meant it to be, so I just added this little body and these little words, and I feel like it goes together. And then let me just double check. Yep. These are from when I first got my markers and I did swatches, and I saw that it bled through, but these swatches were still here, so I decided at the end to just go through and put different kinds of cartoony faces on them so that I could practice doing like more cartoony faces, trying to do less realistic and like convey different expressions and people, but in a very intentionally not looking real, basically. I actually liked that, and it wasn't intentional, but I think like, oh, that's a good little exercise for me to do in the future. Yeah, and then on the back, it's just a list that I never really used as much as I should have. I could have had like a bigger list of stuff that I knew I wanted to sketch in here. So I feel like that's something that I need to do more, is when I have things that I know I want to sketch but I can't like do it at the moment, to like jot it down. And then when I get to my sketchbook, because you know how sometimes you're like, you want to sketch but then you sit down to do it and you're like, what am I gonna sketch? Then you can just look at your list and just pick something from there or work down it. Even if you don't feel like drawing that thing at the time anymore, it still helps you to just like, okay, let's just do it. And that always ends up being enjoyable most of the time. So that is my sketchbook tour. I hope that it was enjoyable, and I'm planning to, like I said, fill out more of my sketchbooks quicker so that I could develop my style more, my visual language, and just play more and experiment. Yeah, it's really soothing to sketch once I get in the groove, and I definitely think that like, because I want to like work in art, I need to just sketch more, because I'm just like not really at a point yet where I have enough or have done enough work, you know, to really have developed my skills. It's just a really nice way to play around. And I will say that this particular sketchbook it's different than sketchbooks that I have that are for fleshing out like ideas or trying to actually practice drawing something that I did that here. I practiced drawing stuff that I needed to draw, but I had the intention in this sketchbook to create like finished sketches and to not really sketch the same thing twice. Whereas like other stuff, like you can't just, when you know what you want to draw, you have to like practice drawing it before you can come up with like a finished drawing or illustration, you know what I mean? So like that is not what this is. So like this is a specific type of sketchbook. Yeah, so you don't have to like compare what your sketchbook or certain sketchbooks look like to other people's sketchbooks, and I try not to compare mine to others as well, but it's just fun to share and look at. So just let me know what you thought about the sketchbook, any pages that you really liked, anything that you would want to try out yourself. If you want more videos like this, art related videos, or just like I make other stuff too, yeah, you can subscribe and like this video. And yeah, thank you very much. Bye.